today we're going to talk about a tool that is essentially about embracing uncertainty and redefining failure. Now, this one is really critical for somebody who considers themselves a perfectionist. And I will tell you that this was a huge lesson for me and something that I draw upon all the time. Because if you can relate to this idea of wanting to get everything perfect, you probably can identify with feeling as though you don't want to look foolish, you don't want things to be messy, you're uncomfortable not being perfect with things right out of the gate. And as you can imagine, people who have that orientation talk themselves right out of their greatest ideas. They stop themselves before they've even begun because they reason that they're probably not cut out for something, maybe because they've never done it in the past. The whole definition of learning something new is that you have to start as a beginner. Now, there's something that I like to call the curse of competence. There are people in this world who seem to have things just come really easily to them, like something somebody else may have to study and practice at for long hours, toiling away, they may be able to do without even trying. And so what happens when you have, it's a blessing and a curse, when you have a high level of giftedness in a particular area, is you make the mistake of assuming that if you don't feel that way about everything you try, you must not be cut out for it. So again, you stop yourself before you ever even start. But what we're starting to see, and the research is actually validating this, is that talent is more of a myth than the idea that applied effort and repetition and practice is what allows people to reach a level of mastery. There's quotes about this all over the place. You've probably heard every master was once a disaster. There's actually in the I Ching, which is an ancient Chinese text that talks about before there is brilliance, there is chaos. Before a great person can do something brilliant, he or she must look foolish to the crowd. And yet, people who are attached to this need for control, and it can also be a need for approval or safety as well, people who feel as though this is not okay, who felt like I did, that, you got to master your fear and you have to be strong before you ever try something and you have to know everything there is to know about it before you do it. You never do anything. And what happens is you kind of go a little crazy because you know you're capable of more, but you just don't have the guts to get in there and do it. It comes down to really having the courage to get in there and get messy. And I think for a lot of people that it often takes experiencing the pain of not having allowed yourself to try something new to become so intense that it becomes greater than the pain of actually trying something and having failed, that allows you to finally break out of your comfort zone and do something that you've been wanting to do and allow yourself to be messy out of the gate and to not look as perfect as you'd like. And so this idea of embracing uncertainty and redefining failure is this. It's if you ask yourself, what is it that you're most afraid of? And chances are it is probably looking foolish. It is probably not getting something right. It is probably feeling really uncomfortable. In some cases, it might be having to work a little harder than you've had to work before. It might be that something could be unpleasant at the start. So yeah, we're all afraid of that. Here's the twist though. I spent a good part of my life, and my guess is if this is something that you're resonating with, you probably do this too, thinking that the chief task was to eradicate all those things and then start. Here's the idea that I want to propose and advocate to you though. Instead of trying to alleviate all those things from your experience, what if you embraced them? What if instead of wishing them away and thinking that they're actually slowing you down, you said this is a vital part, and not only a vital part, but an indicator of progress that you're feeling this way? What if messing things up and feeling foolish and making some mistakes and having things not go the way that you thought they would, what if instead of seeing those as setbacks, you saw them as indicators of your progress, which is exactly what they are. When you see those things, you should pat yourself on the back. You're in the game. You're out there. You're living your dream. You're doing the things you're afraid of. And that, my friend, is living. And that's what we need in organizations. That's what we need in our lives. That's what we need as leaders in order to even have a smidgen of a chance to inspire other people to do that. You got to do it for yourself, and then you show other people the way. And you show them that, yeah, it's scary. Yeah, you're going to feel vulnerable. Yeah, you're going to have to do something that you're not quite comfortable with. But look at what you gain as a result.